Hello, in this video I'm going to show you guys how you can win with a Space Marine Tactical Squad. I'll be going over stats, rules, buffs and a bonus Cheesey tactic. Hello there. So, as I said in the intro, this is going to be a tactical video about the Space Marine Tactical Squad, strangely enough. So obviously I'm going to be referring to my notes, so please bear with. Right, so breed stats. Movement 6, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 3+, strength 4, toughness 4, wounds 1, attack 1, leadership 7, save 3+. Sergeant gets leadership 8 and 2 attacks. The other standard, of which include the Space Marine and the bolt gun, are basically the benchmark of which the game is based upon. So obviously that's the basic stat line. Anything worse than the Space Marine is lower in points. Anything better than the Space Marine is higher in points. Needless to say, benchmark. There we go. Standard bolt gun is 24 inches rapid fire 1, meaning you get 2 shots within 12 inches, or half the range as it is appropriately written. Strength 4, no AP, 1 damage. They also have, as well, frag and crack grenades. I'm not going to go into them because I can never remember it off the top of my head. Crack grenades good, frag grenades okay, depends what you're doing. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, bolt pistol, 12 inches, strength 4, no AP, damage 1, pistol 1. So the reason that's important is, in addition to the fighting, 1 attack, they'll all also get 1 shot in the shooting phase. Because you can do that now within 1 inch of an enemy. Cool in the gang. So, where are we going? So, yeah. So the special rules they get are, and they shall know no fear, which means they can reroll a failed morale test, or as it's known in the rest of the community, other than Space Marine players, and they shall know no rules. It's pretty much accurate. The other option is combat squad, which means you can split a 10-man squad into 2 5-man squads of equal value, thereabouts. You can, so these are options that you get, you can pick 1 special weapon for a unit of 0 to 5 men, and your sergeant can pick weapons from the heavy, no you can't. You can pick weapons from the melee and pistols, and I believe ranged, and I also believe, yeah, ranged, but that also includes things like a combi plasma, combi melt, combi grav, a flamer, combi flamer. No, isn't it? You don't get a flamer, it gets combi flamer. Behave, Nick. Right. If it's 10-man squad, you can have a heavy weapon. So obviously like las cannon, missile launcher, things like that. All the good stuff, which is fun. Needless to say, if you went and you have a 5-man squad, you can have 2 plasma guns effectively in 1 squad, which is cool. That'll come up later. Spoiler alert. So, main ways to win with a Space Marine Tactical Squad is basically one of 2 ways. One is objectives. Now, there's 2 ways within this. So the first way of the objective is going out and actively hunting for objectives. Riding out in a rhino, in a razorback, something along the lines of just riding up, boom, camp on an objective, and stay and win. That's one way. That's how you get an objective. The other is objective camping. Obviously, camping in your own objective deployment zone, if I say the right word. Deployment zone, meaning you camp on that objective. If you can get in cover, even better. You'll have a 2-up save, brave Space Marine standing at the back. But you can also get a cheeky missile launcher. If you do the if you do the combat squad, you can have your bolt guys and a missile launcher, a las cannon, something like that. So just like shots off from the back, safety shots basically, and some guys to protect him. That's one way. So the other way is bullying. So this one is basically to try and possibly wipe off other units. You would pick on a unit who is not as good as you. So things like an infantry squad for an Ashton Militarum. You would also pick on things like Gretchen, which is cool. It's not cool, but it can be done. And fire warriors. It's one way to win. You wipe out the enemy and you get to steal their objectives basically. Yes. So, stratagems. There's only really one that stood out to me. There's a couple in there, but they're more like chapter specific. I was doing an overall blanket video, mainly. The main one is the Auspex scan, which makes it really good, but it's for all infantry squads, right? If an enemy moves basically deep strikes, you know the rule deep strike. So basically deep strikes within 12 inches of an infantry squad, you can use one command point to the Auspex scan, which then makes them be able to fire at that squad immediately. So before they get to do anything else, any little fancy thing they want to do, you get to take your shots at them. So if you've got a minimum squad with 2 plasma guns, you can probably get 4 shots in at them, which is pretty cool and a little bit scary for them, which is good. Plus your bolt guns. Oh, -1 to hit, so that's the only downside. Right, moving on. So chapter tactics. This is my opinion, so don't take it as hard fact. Basically, there's 3 favourites there. There's one which is the Iron Hands. Basically 6 up feeling the pain, so that's kind of cool. In a defensive manner, you get to ignore a wound on a 6+, so that's even, I guess, if you completely don't get your 3-up save, or you do get a 3-up save and you fail it. You know, it happens once in every 3 times. 1/3 time. Shut up. 1/3 of the time. Same diffs. Yes. You also get your 6-up save, which is cool. The other one is the Ultramarine, so +1 leadership and you can shoot and fall back at -1 to hit. So basically your leadership's going to be way better. You're almost definitely not going to fail your morale check. Best one, in my opinion, this is Raven Guard of -1 to hit over 12 inches away. So even your dreadnoughts, your bikers, anything further away than 12 inches gets -1 to hit. So that's going to really annoy a shooty orc army or something like that. I mean, they're probably going to fire a bucket load of dice at you, but it can annoy them slightly. What else have we got? So the next section is buffs. So buffs, the main ones, is going to be the captain. He can re-roll 1s for hit rolls. So that's also in combat as well, which is, because it doesn't specify shooting, it's also in combat. You can also have a chapter master for 3 command points. Yeah. Basically, you can reroll all missed attacks, which is alright. But if you reroll on 1s and you're going to be hitting on 3s, you're only going to miss on 2s anyway, so it's up to you whether you want to invest that. Other ones, Chaplain, rerolling hits, failed hits in combat. So that's very specific, saying about rerolling failed in combat. So only if you're going out offensive, bring the Chaplain in that respect. I mean, it's cool, but my opinion anyway. The other one is the Lieutenant. So this is cool because you reroll 1s to wound, which is good. So that's in combat and in thingies. So you can make your Space Marines almost guaranteed to hit. So you can put them next to a Captain and a Lieutenant, and you can just fire across the board and do barely and not miss barely anything and not unwound things, that kind of thing, which is cool. Not great English, but you know what I mean. Basically, I'm going to sum up and then I'm going to give you the cheesy bonus tactic. Right, sum up is basically, I believe, Space Marines tactical squads are okay. They're not going to win you a game on their own. You're definitely going to need something to support them, whether it's in combat or something to shoot. You know, that will move them about the board. Cool. However, in an objective-based game, you're probably going to need a couple of tactical squads. Probably. You don't have to, but you're probably going to need them. They're going to do quite well. Bonus cheesy tactic. So you're probably going to lose a couple of friends doing it this way. Right, however, so earlier on, we talked about how you can have a 5-man squad. One of them having a sergeant with a combi plasma. Then you get another guy with a plasma gun. So right there, in a 5-man squad, you've got 2 plasma guns. So, in 12-inch, open your eyes, Nick, within 12 inches, you're going to get 4 shots. However, this is where it gets cheesy. You can get a Rhino, which carries 10 men, which is 2 squads, which can each have 2 plasma guns. So those either 4 shots at 24 inches becomes 8 shots within 12 inches, plus all your bolt guns. So you probably, and I mean, it's only going to be really cheesy if you do it a few times, but that can be quite devastating to a small unit with a relatively high save, relatively, you know, mechs and techs, that kind of thing. That's basically it. So if you liked it, put one of them. If you didn't, put one of them bad boys on it. Comments down below on things you disagree entirely or completely agree with. Or if I've missed anything completely, let me know. I'm a cool guy. No, I'm not. But I will listen. Yes, sir. Thank you very much.